It is Sunday the 14th of September 2025, and today we're going to be having a look at Farmfoods because their new cattle dog just came through the door, and there's some stuff in there whether you're looking to get some bits and pieces so that you can start getting ready for the holidays, or you're looking to do a bit of a stockpile, put some stuff aside to add to preps or what have you, or just looking for some cheaper options for the month. They've actually got some really good deals, and can I just say, Tanny and I went to Food Warehouse or Iceland today, and some of these stuff that they've got in Farmfoods is twice the price in Iceland. So let's have a look at some of the best options today that I found. Ta-da! So we're going to start off right on the cover where they have a 1.5 kilo bag of large raw and peeled king prawns, as you can see here, or a 1.3 kilo bag of large cooked and peeled king prawns, 2 for 30 quid. Now that's actually a really good deal, and if you're looking to, if your family does a lot of stuff at Christmas with prawns and things, this is probably a better way to go than buying the ready-made stuff, because you're going to get way more in a packet like this than you are for the money of the pre-made stuff. Okay, and you're in control. You're in control of the sauces, you're in control of how you wrap it, you're in control of how you prepare it. I personally would get a bag of each, and I try and do that anytime it comes on offer. This offer comes up because it's just cheaper that way. Now I saw in Iceland today they had bags half the size of this, and they were 3 of those for £12 each, £12 for 3, and they were 500 gram bags. They weren't actually even they weren't even half the size. They were 500 gram bags, 3 for 12 quid. Now I get that, you know, it's a similar kind of price, but I would rather buy the bigger bag and get the big bag rather than have lots of little bags floating around the place that are just they're gonna cause me a bit of anxiety because there's just too many of them. Do you know what I mean? Get the bigger bag, pay £1 or £2 more. The other thing is, with the smaller bags, what happens is it's not consistent with how many are in there. Whereas if you get the bigger bags, you're more likely to actually get more per bag than you are the smaller bags and adding them up. They're more likely to put less than to put over, if you know what I mean. So at least this way, you're more likely to get the full amount. Next, we have 2 kilos of frozen chicken thighs. These are bone in. Now, considering the cost of deboned chicken, this is pretty much the same price everywhere, has it? Except that Iceland, their amount for the same, so £5, it's £1. It's 1.5 kilos for their bone-in chicken thighs at Iceland for a £5. So you're getting 500 grams more. Yes, the bones are there. The bones only will come up to about 250 grams. So it's not that bad, right? You're still going to get the same amount of bones, 1.5 kilo, but you're just paying for more, you know, if you do it that way. If you go for the fillets, so that they've had the bones taken out, Iceland are charging you £4.25 for 600 grams. You know, so I'd buy the big bag while you've got it. Get a couple of them in. Debone them yourself when you want to use them. If that's what you want to do, then you got the bones that you can use to put it away for stock when you're ready to make chicken stock. So you've got something else for a different product. You know, don't waste the bones, you know. But I also find, like, if I'm making like chicken casseroles or curries or things like that, I prefer to cook the thighs of the bone in. The meat stays a lot moister. It's not as, it doesn't dry out, you know, and you keep the flavor, you know. So I prefer to do it that way, and it comes off the bone easily anyway if it's cooked in that kind of way. So I don't see the worry about it, to be fair, you know. I really don't. You can use them any way that you use the boneless thighs. You just got to take the bone out. Oh well, not big deal really, is it? Okay, so next we're going to look at their frozen lamb mince, which is a kilo bag, and it's $7.99. Now, it seems from what I've been looking up that everywhere does only a 500 gram bag, including Iceland, except they only do a 450 gram bag, and it's £4.50. So if you wanted the same amount, you'd have to buy 3 bags. £13.50 to get 1.3 kilos, which is ridiculous. Let's be honest, it's absolutely ridiculous. Even Morrison's, they're charging £5.20 for 500 grams, and the same with Sainsbury's. Yeah, it's really difficult to get another kilo bag. So if you did want to get some lamb mince to keep aside to do, whether you wanted to use it for pies or shepherd's pie or whatever you wanted to do, or make your own lamb burgers or whatever, this is going to be your cheapest way of doing it. So I know that frozen mince isn't always the nicest thing, but in a pinch it's actually really good, and as long as you get your seasonings right, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. Okay, yeah, so there we go, lamb mince, $7.99. Now, what we're going to look at next is their Angus beef mince. Now, there's a little bit of controversy under this roof about frozen mince and such, but quite frankly, this is different from what Farmfoods used to do, and I have tried it, and it is a lot better quality than they used to do with their beef mince. And being at £5.99 for a kilo, if you're looking to make party pies or stuff for the holiday season, you know, or for a cottage pie or whatever, you're better off getting this, because you're going to add all those seasonings, you're going to make it taste better, it's cheaper, and it's going to go a lot further as you cook it, right? The other thing is, the only other place that does frozen minced beef by the kilo is Morrison's, and they're charging £6.75 for it, and it's their regular run-of-the-mill mince. Even Iceland is only doing 400 gram and 550 gram packs of beef mince, other than their 20%, which is 600, and they're all £4.50. So to get your kilo, you're going to have to pay upwards of £9. So, you know, I would rather get this. If I'm doing things like for events and stuff, I would rather get this one and turn that into little party pies, or, you know, just finger food stuff. You're not looking at making like really extravagant things, you know, just not having to pay stupid money for party pies and individual pies that are frozen that you're going to have to heat up anyway. So yeah, I would get this for that, honestly, because you're going to be saving yourself a whole buttload of money. So in this bit, we're going to start looking at the tinned meats that you can get right now, so that if you're looking to stockpile stuff away so that you've got it for a rainy day or whatever, you can look at it. Now, predominantly tinned meat is getting extortionately expensive, let's be honest. So I wanted to show these because they're actually really good deals, and I would grab them while you could, you know, because let's be honest, I'm probably going to do that myself. So they've got their 340 gram corned beef for $1.99 a tin. The peck pork, but in the 400 gram tin, so that's not a bad size tin. That's actually a pretty good size tin. 3 for $5, and they've got 200 grams of spam, 2 for £6, which is actually also not a bad price, to be honest. But they've also got our favourite hot dogs, but they've got the small ones. These are the small ones. They're not the ones in the really big jars. They're the ones in the little bibby jars, so that, you know, the little ones. And they're 2 for £3. So would we get those? Maybe, just to have on hand on the off chance that we wanted to have hot dogs and all. Then Tanny would have to do is pick up some buns on the way home from work. It's quite possible that that is something that we would do. So if you're looking for tinned meats for whatever reasons, that's probably the best way to go at this point. They're really cheap and there's more to come. Now, Prince's are well known to be quite an expensive brand when it comes to tinned meats. They're not over the top expensive, but they are up there. All right. So when I find tins that are under £3 each, or they're around £3, or, you know, what have you, for stewed steak, I will happily grab that. And at Farmfoods, they've got 2 for £6. Ta-da! What they also have in Prince's is a choice of any 3 of the following tins for £5. So you've got chili con carne, which is the mild one, mild chicken curry, chicken and white sauce, and minced beef and onion. And frankly, at any time of day, or any time of life, if you're in a push, they actually make a really decent meal. And you can add whatever you want to them to change it up for your liking, but also in any kind of an emergency or rationing kind of thing that you're doing, because that's what you're having to do, it's not a bad meal on its own, and they are not the worst flavored ones. They also have meat you can recognize in it, and that makes a big difference, you know. And quite frankly, I'd rather pay 3 for £5 for these, or 2 for £6 for the stewed steak, than nearly £3 for a Frey Bentos that I got one chunk of meat in. Yeah, not happy about that. Can't say I'm happy about them. They've gone bad, man. So yeah, no, I would do this, because most of the steaks in gravy now, like the stewed steaks, they're about £3.59 each. I think the cheapest one that I could find here of the Prince's is £3.14, and that's in Asda. It's still 28p cheaper, right, for 2 tins. You know, let's go there. Let's do that. Now, we all have our favourites when it comes to baked beans, and let's be honest, we can get baked beans relatively cheaply at the moment still. Okay. However, if you are a Heinz person, particularly, I'm not the plain beans, and I don't like the no added sugar ones. They taste like the tin. But they've also got cream of chicken soup or cream of tomato soup, which we use a lot in cooking. The 6-packs, 4 6-packs for £15. 4 6-packs for £15. That's 24 cans. That's less than, that's around about 60p a tin. I dare you to find any supermarket that's sending any kind of Heinz product for 60p right now, because let's have a look and look it up. Heinz beans, £1.40 just for 1 tin. just for one tin. Same size tin, 415 gram. You know, they're good for putting away. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. They're worth it to put away. Yes, you can get the cheap ones for 26p if you go to like Sainsbury's and get the Stamford Street ones or whatever. A lot of people prefer the Cross and Brackwell ones. A lot of people can prefer, you know, the Branston ones. You've got your favourites, but if you are a Heinz person, or you're just looking to save up some of the soups like cream of chicken or the tomato soup, this is the deal to get. Okay, and then you've got a really nice selection that's away for when you need it, you know, because yeah, that's reasonably good value, I reckon. Right, let's move on to some cheap and cheerful budget meal items for your dry store pantry, whether they're for now or for stocking up for later on or whatever. Let's get into it. We have red split lentils for a kilo for 99p and chickpeas for 99p. Can I just say, I've been having a look very quickly, and the cheapest ones at 1 kilo you can get are the Layla ones in Sainsbury's for £2. Next to that's it. Yep, £2. So you're looking at around £2 on. No, that's 500 grams. So there's a 500 gram bag you can get at Tesco's for £1.90. But mostly they're around £2, £2.90. Not even kidding. Some of them are even charging £5. Like, what? Are you kidding? Yeah, let's not do that. Let's go this way. It's the same with the chickpeas. Chickpeas are the same. Yes, it's great to have the tins. Let's be honest. We all like to have some tins of chickpeas around if we're into doing that. But, you know, a little bit of organisation the day before. Soak them overnight. Get them cooking in the slow cooker. You know, you've got them ready for the next day anyway. So, and they're going to store better, number one. And number two, they're well cheaper. Number three, you can grow them if you had to, the chickpeas. They're a bit of pain in the ass to grow. You need a lot of space, but because you only get like 1 or 2 in a pod. I'm not even kidding. It's not worth it. It's not worth the effort unless you've got a really decent space to grow them in. So getting the 1 kilo for 99p, absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. Same with the red split lentils. You know, they're great sources of protein. Yes, they're going to take a little bit of effort to get sorted out, but you know what? It's worth it. Worth it. Totally worth it. I don't have a problem with it. I would absolutely go for it. And I always have dried lentils and dried beans and chickpeas and stuff like that around the place because they're so easy to just chuck in the slow cooker, you know, at the beginning of the day, and they'll be ready for dinner by the time we want it with whatever else that we have added to that pot. So, you know, it's a good sauce. Go for it. Speaking of cans, we have chickpeas and bologna beans, and normally everywhere they're somewhere between 49 pence and 65 pence a tin. Some of the more posh branded ones are about £1. These are 3 for £1. So 3.333333333333 pence a tin. You may as well. I mean, if you want to have tin lentils around the place, or bologna beans or chickpeas, just for a very, very quick on the run kind of thing, these are the ones to have. Just be aware, okay, because there's gonna be people going, yeah, but if I can get the tins, why do I want to get the dry ones? All right, so in those tins there's less than 1/4 cup of beans dried. Okay, so you think about how many dried ones you're going to get in a quarter of a cup, a quarter of a measuring cup, right? And that's how many you're going to get in one of those tins. Same with the bloody beans, same with the lentils, you know. So if you have them dried, like I said, they take up a whole lot of less room. You're getting a whole lot more for your money. These are convenient, they're ready to go, right? Okay, they're very good for throwing at people as well if you feel the need. I'm just saying, I'm not encouraging violence here, but I'm just saying that if the need arose, yeah. Okay, so on to the next one. Okay, so chopped tomatoes, 3 for £1. We're always happy for 3 for £1 for tomatoes. Chopped tomatoes anywhere else? Yeah, 49p. You're looking at about 49p a tin for anywhere from 45p up. So you're going to be making a really decent saving getting these. Baked beans as well, 3 for £1. You know, it's up to you. When it comes to baked beans, it's entirely up to you. It's your preference. It's you who's going to eat them. And, you know, I'm just giving options here. So, you know, not bad. Yeah, I'll probably get a couple of those tins, to be honest. I mean, yes, you can get them cheaper. We're not actually buying tomatoes in the smaller tins at the moment. We're getting the bigger tins because it's more convenient for us. It's easier for us. And it's really cheap, so we don't worry about that. But yeah, I probably might have a couple of tins of chopped tomatoes around the place just to, you know that we've got them on hand that we can grab when we want. You know, who knows? Yeah, but there you go. So there's your tins for this. I think that's all the tins. I think it is. I think. No, I missed one. And here we go with the salmon. Okay, now, you either love it or you hate it. I happen to absolutely adore it. I love tin salmon. And I'm one of the weirdos that will squish it all together, the bones, the squid, everything all together, because it's all edible. Anything that's in that tin is edible. So, you know, it's been cooked for long enough at a high enough temperature that it's going to, those bones literally become another calcium source and zinc source and potassium source, and all of the really good stuff that is in your bones is in those bones. So that's, yeah, they're going in me at that point, you know. And the same with the skin, because salmon oils have a lot of really great omega-3s, and you want to get as much of that as possible if you're going for tin salmons, because if you're at the point where you want to use that in any kind of situation, then you want to get as much out of it as possible. Just mush it all up. You'll never know. Trust me, you will never know, right? But it's stupid money. It's stupid money right now. The big tins now are £3.50. You're looking about £3 for a big tin. £3.50 to £4. Where else? Who else has got them? Yeah, and that's at Morrison's and Asda. They're around £3.50 a tin for the big ones. Everywhere else is doing smaller tins, and even Prince's salmon is £3, and that's for a small tin. A small one. That's for the little one. The 200-gram tin. Half the size of that for £3. No, sod off. I'm getting 2 of these for £5. In fact, I'll probably get maybe a few more than that, because I love my salmon. I haven't had it for a very long time because I've kind of been put off because of the price of it. But yeah, if I can get it for that, then that's what I'm going to pay. Yeah. £2.50 a tin. Thank you very much. Yes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when my kids were little, I used to have I'd only buy a certain amount of fresh milk every fortnight, right? And if we went over that, I had UHT shelf-stable milk. And if we went through that, I had milk powder. Okay, so what we're going to look at next is shelf-stable milk. So we're going to be looking at UHT milk, and we're going to be looking at milk powder. And right now, Farmfoods have semi-skimmed milk and skimmed milk, 12 packs, 1 litre cartons for $7.99. Now that is 3p cheaper than the cheapest you can get at the supermarkets. So Sainsbury's have it for 69p, and Asda Just Essentials is 69p a litre. However, for a 12 pack, you're looking at saving 30-40 pence, which every bit helps. Do you know what I mean? That could be another tin of tomatoes. That could be another tin of tomatoes. It could be another, tin of baked beans or whatever. So yes, there's not a lot of difference in it, but there's a significant amount to be enough that I would make the jump. And because I'm at Farmfoods and I'm not having to go anywhere else, I'm going to go and get those packs of UHT milk to put away for in case we need them, in case it's necessary, because who knows, before Christmas we've got our MOTs coming up. Now, car's not brand new. It cost us 500 quid cash. We've put about £300-400 of parts into it. It's done us proud for the last, I want to say, around 7 years. 6-7 years. But with things changing and things happening and stuff, we don't know what's going to happen with the car. We don't know if it will pass the MOT. We don't know. You don't know. You could be missing a screw. You could be missing a bracket. You could be missing anything. And you just don't know. We do know that one of our tyres needs replacing, which means that the spare needs replacing, because the spare we haven't actually fixed because that was the leaky one from the last one. So we have 2 new tyres that we need to get. So yeah, I'm going to go and get some of this milk. Now, the other thing is, we're going to be looking at milk powder. Now, the milk powder is 3 for £12. Now, it's only 400 gram tins. Now, that 400 gram tin should get you about 10 litres of milk. Okay, that's not bad. Let's be honest, that's pretty good. Milk powder has gone up so extortionately, I can't even begin to explain. I mean, when my kids were little, I know that I used to buy a 2 kilo bag of milk powder for £1.50. You can't even find a 2 litre bag of milk powder in the supermarkets anymore, let alone for £1.50. It's not possible. In the history of us, the amount of inflation that we have seen in my lifetime is more than the last 500 years before it. And that's something to think about. That's really something to think about. That's ridiculous. So in the last 40 years, inflation has gone up more, and our cost of living prices have gone up more than the last 500 years beforehand. That's insanity. And I'll say 500 plus years, to be honest, because it's just pure insanity. It really, really is. But we are where we are, and having milk powder on hand, just as the backup of the backup, is always a good idea. So would I get that? Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because milk powder by the kilo right now, you have to go to bulk shops for. And you're looking at around £9 a kilo. You're looking at about £9 a kilo. So yeah, this is probably the best option that you're going to get right now. To be fair, that's probably the best option you're going to get. Yeah. So yeah, would I do it? Yes, I would. I absolutely would. Yeah, they've also got things like Coffee Mate for 3 for 12 quid. I don't know if I'd do that, but I'm not big on Coffee Mate. But it's there as an option, isn't it? It's another option. So, yeah. But I haven't really looked that one up, so we'll just carry on with the next bit. So I figured we've been looking at the milk. Let's have a look at breakfast. And these little oat bursts are 3 for a quid. And quite frankly, grab them while you can. Since packs of 8 are being sold for anywhere from £6 upwards, get them. Home Bargains, however, I've got 8 packs for £3.12. If that's what you wanted to do. Right? Now, Iceland have got an equivalent. They've got the Quaker Oats, which is the brand of this. And they're £1 each. Yeah, I'd get these. I would get them. 3 for £1. Yeah. You know, they're everywhere. They're just like really expensive. You're looking at about 60p a pot. 55p for the Morrison's golden syrup porridge. You know, 65p for the Sainsbury's one. Yeah. They're all about 65p to... Yeah, even Approved Food is selling the Quaker ones for £1. And they're usually pretty good. And yeah. But if you're having to pay £8, £9, £10 for 8 of them, yeah, let's just go and get 3 for £1. Then you got your breakfast sorted. Yeah. These are also do keep for a little while as well. As far as I know, they don't have dairy in them, so that they would keep a bit longer. But rolled oats aren't going to stay as long as groat oats. And you can make these using your own rolled oats if you had them. But, you know, in a push and to have in a go bag, grab them. Go for it. Yep. Okay, we're going to start looking at pre-packaged, ready to go meals that all you have to do is add water, right? Okay, or milk or whatever you've got, you know. And this one is the cheesy macaroni. So the mac and cheese packs, 99p. It's 99p, you know, and they're the big packs, so they're not the little ones, they're the big packs. So 99p for a meal at a push if you got nothing else in the house to feed the house with. Are you really gonna argue about that? Let's not argue about that. Let's just feed the kids. Yeah. So mac and cheese packs. Let's see how much they're going for everywhere else. You can get Savers ones for 45p. I knew you could, but these ones, it's 190 grams in this. Let me just see how much is it. These are 100 grams. Right, so this one's actually a meal-sized one. That one is a one-person sized one. So I would go with this one. And that's going to feed you and another person and probably the kids. And if you've got like a couple of handfuls of frozen veg or whatever you've got lurking in the back of your fridge that you can chuck in and make it go a bit further, simple bish bash bosh meal. right? Lifesaver. Go for it. Go grab some of them. I'm going to grab some of those. I'll be grabbing some of those. I will. Because they'll be useful. Yep. So the next ones we're going to look at are the heat and eat, like ready to go in the microwave packs of rice. And here they've got whole grain rice, the pilau rice, savory chicken flavored rice, Mexican style rice, chicken vegetable rice, egg fried rice, and basmati rice. And they're 2 for £1. Now, I've had a look, and they're all everywhere between 85p and £2 upwards for these packs or similar packs. So Farmfoods have them for 2 for £1. That's what you want to do. Go and grab them. I mean, we don't have a microwave. We don't have one in the house. So is it worth it for us? Possibly, because we'd probably tip it out of the pack anyway and just use it, you know. But these things are shelf stable, so they could be put away for emergencies, just to make sure you rotate them, check the dates and stuff on them, you know. So they would be useful in an emergency for like your own ready-made MRE type thing, if that's what you wanted to do. But yeah, double check the dates on them. Make sure that you got the longest date you could possibly get. But yeah, 2 for £1, absolutely. Do you have to have a microwave to heat them up? No. They can go in a pan or in a pot or whatever. You can heat them through that way. It's not a big deal, you know. Whatever you've got, do what you have to do. That's the way it is, isn't it, right? But yeah, I would get some of these in. They're a nice size pack as well. Yep, go for it. Now let's talk veg oil, sunflower oil, that kind of thing. Now, these are 2 for £25, which makes them £13.99 each. Is it worth it? I want to say no. Actually, on this one, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to tell you for why. This is KTC's Extended Life Veg Oil. I'm looking at KTC's Extended Life Veg Oil being sold in Asda in 5-litre bottles for $6.42. $6.42. Which means 2 of those, $2.80, $12.80, $12.84, which is £1 cheaper than getting the big 10-litre. 5-litre bottles for me are a bit more manageable than a 10-litre. I mean, I look at the 10 litres and I think, oh my God, I'm going to die. You know, I mean, yes, as a chef, I used to have to deal with 20-litre drums, you know, but I don't have to do that anymore, so I choose not to, if I can get away with it. But the 5-litre ones also, if you drop it, and let's be honest, I have a tendency to drop things. I do. You're not going to cry as much over losing half a bottle of 5-litre of veg oil as you are if you lose half a bottle of 10 litres of oil. So I would actually rather do the Asda thing and go and get them as 5-litre bottles over at Asda for $6.42. There you go. It's not all what it's cracked up to be, is it? No, I bet you didn't expect me to say no, I wouldn't do that. If you want to do that, totally up to you. You do you, boo. But me, it's not worth it for me. I would drop that easily. And, yeah, I would cry far too loudly. I would upset the neighbours. Yeah, let's not do that. So, I know we don't want to think about it. I know we don't want to say it. But you know what? Christmas is coming, kids. And with Christmas coming, that means visitors. And when visitors are coming, that means hosting, and that means having drinkies available, etc., etc. And Farmfoods have you covered right now this month with their specials, because we have 5 24-can slabs of Vimto, Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Fanta, Pepsi Max or Pepsi for 40 quid. Now I can absolutely tell you that when I walked into the food warehouse or Iceland today, there was 4 for 30 quid. Exactly the same ones. Exactly the same ones they were doing. Yeah, I would be getting this. I'd be getting this. I would do this. And then I can put them away, and then I don't have to worry about it, and the kids can have, and whoever's here can have a slab of this or that or whatever they want. Do you know what I mean? It's not any, they can have a can of whatever. There's no, do you want Coke or do you want water? Do you know what I mean? There's options, and the options are good options. Now, if one of your gremlins just happens to be a bit of an energy drink fiend, we have a couple of those in our family. They have the 4 packs, 4 packs for £26 of 4 different flavours. Yeah, we'd be getting some of them as well. Yep. Now, Lucky Last is a drink that will actually be shelf stable. I mean, like the soft drinks, they have a very short shelf life. Why? Because they lose carbonation. So having something around that's actually going to give you a little bit of flavour in your water, if that's all you've got to drink, that's going to be a bit more shelf stable and, you know, be around for the long haul, then you've got these 2 3-litre Vimto on, yeah, so you've got, hang on, no, it's 1 3-litre Vimto squash. I thought it was 2, sorry, but still £3.49 for 3 litres. 3 litres of that kind of squash is going to give you 15 litres of drink, because it's what, it's supposed to be 1 in 5, isn't it? 1 in 5, 1 in 4, and 1 in 5. 1 in 5. I mean, like, I normally have less than that. There's no way that I would have all that, but there is the no sugar one, and then there's the sugar one, so you've got your options, whatever you want. Yeah, but I would probably go for that. I'd probably do that just to have some in the house, just in case. You never know, because we don't always want something that's fizzy. It's nice to have something that's around that's sweet, but it's not overly sweet, that you've got a bit more control about what's going into your drink. So yeah, give it a crack. Why not? It's £3 at the end of the day for like 15 litres. 15 litres of drinking of water. So if you're having the sugar-free version to help you get through getting used to getting more water into your system, that is more than a week's worth. You're probably going to have half of that, to be honest. So you could stretch it for 2 weeks for £3.50. It's not bad, let's be honest. It's a lot less than a lot of the flavoured sachets and stuff that you can get, that people are like going, oh yeah, I'm having this flavour and that flavour and that flavour today. And I'm like, whoa, that's $40 a week. No thanks. Yeah, so yeah, go for something like this. At least you're still getting your water intake. You know, you cut your sugar down. it's all a good thing, right? So I hope that's been helpful for you guys, and we had a little bit of a look, and for different reasons and different whatevers. But there's a lot of really good deals there this week, or this month actually, because they do their deals monthly. They don't do them weekly. So you've got a bit of time. Let's have a look at what date is it till? I'm not sure if I can see it. It's getting dark in here and I'm got my old lady eyes on. So pretty sure. Oh, let's see. And don't forget, I mean, they're not worth a lot, but every bit counts, right? You've got your little coupons on the bottom. So, you know, that could kind of make you, I mean, like, that could give you some free stuff even though you didn't think you had free stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, these are good till the 30th of September. Okay, so it's good for 2 weeks. There we go. Not going to argue with that. But most of them, a lot of those deals tend to go on for the next 2 weeks after that as well. So, you know, it's just the coupons. But, hey, good is good, right? So whether you're looking to shop for the rest of the month, or you're looking to shop towards the holidays to get ready for events and stuff, or if you are looking to put stuff aside for a more longer term situation, there's some really good stuff that is out there and could save you some money, you know, and isn't going to break the bank too much, you know. So I will see you again very, very soon. We start the 12 weeks of Christmas tomorrow. I know, don't bitch at me. I didn't write the calendar. Okay? There's 12 weeks. And we've got 90 days to get things done. So there will be videos every day between now and then. And job a day, right? We got this. Take it easy, and I will see you again very, very soon. Love you guys heaps. Bye.